It's Cyclists and Bikers Week, and on Sunday mornings, a number of the island's motorbike riders head out for a social breakfast at one of Jersey's cafes. Some members of Bikes.je met me up for a chat about rider safety, but one member in particular was very willing to offer some advice for riders.
Some say that if you blink, you'll miss him, and that if you look left, look right, and then look left again, there is a very big chance you won't take him off his bike. All we know is that for legal reasons he's not the Stig, but he could be, depending on DNA results, be the Stig's second cousin twice removed and goes around on two wheels. Thank you very much for taking a bit of time to talk to us about Be Safe, Be Seen. Firstly, on a safety front, we've had some nicer days that have not been that of a bad condition for going out on the roads. Some people see it right that they go around in shorts and t-shirt, even though it's not exactly that warm. What do you say to people who do that? Oh, yeah. It's yeah, not a nice thought, that, no. Well, maybe you've got 3 tips for cyclists, or most cyclists who are out and about on the roads during the winter time. Wear the right protective clothing. Yes, something that's going to save you from what you said before. Assume they haven't seen you, of course, looking left, looking right, and you know, try and get their eyes. And ride to the conditions and abilities. Yeah, everybody's different, and the conditions do change pretty quick. You talk about the right protective clothing, but what kind of protective clothing do you think people should be wearing? Absolutely, yeah, helmet. I mean, that's a definite must. A proper motorcycle jacket. You want to go wearing a shell suit or something like that. Gloves, protect your hands. Some of them have got knuckle protection on it as well. Boots, really good pair of boots. You can get them all sorts of different kinds, lower price ones or higher price ones as well. Jeans at a minimum. Some people would wear Kevlar jeans as well, or the full waterproof bottoms as well. Leathers too, and high vis. Absolutely, it's an advantage. It helps you be seen by other users of the road. Of course, the darker evenings are coming up. Do you have any tips for the darker evenings, maybe to help other people, actually, you know, while they're out on the roads? Darker evenings equals clear visor. Yeah, the darker visors are great for not having to put glass, you know, shades on in and out of your helmet. So darker evenings, clear visor. Clean your visor as well. Absolutely. There's during the summer lots of bugs and what have you that get on your visor. Clean it off. Wear your high vis gear. Absolutely a definite, and make yourself seen. Some say, you know, just getting above the car in front can help you out. Thanks very much for your tips, and I'll leave you to do whatever it is you do on a Sunday. Thank you. You can carry on and do what you want after that. We've got some shots we're just going to use in other than that, so thank you very much for helping out.
And it's not just about those on 2 wheels with an engine. Road Safety Officer Philip Blake holds cycling proficiency lessons here in Jersey. And from the very young to the mature riders, he knows his stuff when it comes to being safe and seen on Jersey's roads.
Yeah, well, something we're seeing more and more of is people doing things like riding through red lights without stopping, going up no entries, up on the pavements. And although, well, it's leading to a problem where young children are thinking they can ride through red lights because they're seeing adults do it. And so, you know, I would ask adults to make sure they do follow the rule of the road. That's the first simple thing. If you're riding through a red traffic light, clearly you shouldn't be. If you're riding up at the pavement and you're doing it quickly, you're putting pedestrians in danger. If you're riding up no entries, you shouldn't be. Car drivers are going to get a shock seeing you doing that. So that's the very first thing, just to stay safe. The other thing that people sometimes do is ride a little bit too close to the pavement. They could do is sometimes being a little bit further out, just so that if a car wing mirror does touch their arm, they've got somewhere to wobble to, that they won't hit the pavement and come off their bike. Clearly, riding with a helmet on is a good idea, and more than that, making sure it's on properly. Quite often we see people with helmets on but they're not on properly, to make sure that you can be seen. So even if you're not wearing fluorescent equipment, make sure you're wearing something nice and bright, that you can be seen. And doing some nice clear arm signals, looking back before you do your arm signals, so that people, not only are people clear what you're doing, but you're clear about what's going on around you, rather than just making turns in front of cars. Before you take any trip, one of the first basic checks to do is on your brakes. Just make sure they work. It's always possible somebody has tampered with them. They're very easy to check. If you just apply your front brake, usually if it's a bike bought in Jersey, it'll be on the right hand side. Just apply the brake, push forward. If the back wheel comes up, the front brake's working fine. If you bought your bike in France, the brakes may well be the other way round. For Jersey bikes, for the back brake, squeeze the left hand lever, pull backwards. If the front wheel comes up, back brake's working just fine. The other issue with the brakes is if people, when they get used, the wire stretches, and what you do find is that the brake lever can touch the handlebar. So the idea is when you put the brake lever on, you should be able to get a finger between your brake lever and handlebar. If it doesn't, if you get to the point where you can't, you really need to adjust the brake levers, and if you don't know how to do that, then to take it into a bike shop to get it done professionally. Second thing is to keep an eye on your tyres. Make sure they're nice and they're pumped up nice and hard. The advantages to that are, one, it's easier to ride your bike. It's more difficult to get a puncture. You also need to keep an eye, if you've got a hybrid bike, you need to keep an eye on the tread on your tyres to make sure that they're not wearing thin. Road riding bikes, they tend to already have little or no tread, so they're designed to be that way. The other issue is check your chain, make sure it's well oiled, not just with any old oil. You really should put a bike oil on, because that has ingredients in the liquid to protect your chain. It's not just a matter of lubrication. And of course, all the other moving parts of your bike, you should really put a squirt of oil in to make sure you keep them free and working well. From a legal perspective, in Jersey you should have a bell on your bike that works. At night you must have reflectors on your bike. There should be a red reflector to the rear. You should have pedal reflectors, and the optional ones are a white one at the front, and what you normally get one reflector on each wheel, and legal requirement is you should have them on at night time. You should also have lights on your bike at night, a white one to the front, a red one to the back. And the other thing that is a legal requirement with the bike, you should have a working set of brakes. So people with BMX bikes that have no brakes and they use their feet to stop them aren't, strictly speaking, legal to go on the road.
You'll be glad to know that the following day of meeting with the Bikes.je team, I decided to get myself some new tyres. I'm sure they'll be worth every penny, and not as much as I thought too. It's well worth checking your tyres now. So, hopefully with those tips in mind, you can be safe and be seen this winter with Channel 103 and IFM Group. Professionals you can trust.